Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon and good evening. My name is Vishwadeep and I welcome you all on PW Gatewala channel. Today we are going to start a course which is operating system. One of the difficult looking course, but if you see the core of the course, it is so easy to understand this, and later on with a little extra practice it is easy to score in this particular course. Operating system has weightage of around 6 to 8 marks, sometimes 9 mark also on an average, 6 to 8 marks in gate examination. Not so big course, so you can cover up it in enough time duration, around 70 to 80 hours, and definitely you can have with good practice good score. At first place, let me know if my audio and video are clear to you guys, and we will start this particular course with basics of operating system. We will try to understand what is operating system and what it does, exactly why we needed operating system in computers. So all these things we are going to discuss today, but at first place I want you guys to let me know if you guys are ready for learning today. Can you please let me know if you guys are ready for learning today so that we can continue today's lecture? Okay, that's great. So, the very first day, of course, we need to understand the operating system. Fine. So, what is operating system? You must be knowing about it, right? Can you please type down what is operating system? See, everybody knows this definition. Operating system is the interface between user and hardware. But why? Why? See, it's a very simple thing. Everybody, if watching my lecture, is using either mobile phone or a computer system or iPad or similar kind of tablet. Computer system includes all the computer system, whether it is a desktop, laptop, whatever it is. Are you watching my lecture? Yes, you are using a particular system, whether it is mobile phone or PC. On where you are watching my lecture right now? PC or mobile? Whichever it is. Whichever it is, you are using YouTube. Yes. Either you are using YouTube as application in your phone or in your tablet, or you are using a web browser in which you have opened the YouTube. Yes or no? So what exactly you are using as application? Either web browser or YouTube application. Yes or no? Tell me what you are using right now. If you are using a web application, which is web browser, or you are using YouTube, how exactly that YouTube or web browser application is running on your CPU? How? Don't know? That is why operating system is needed. See, your program does whatever you have coded for. Coding, you do coding, right? You have done some kind of basic programming, right? So whatever you write, your program does that. But how that particular program will tell to my computer system that this is how CPU you work, this is how keyboard you work, screen you work, this is how you need to work? Your program does not have capability to interact with hardware. Your program does not have any kind of capability to interact with hardware. What happens? So program which you want to run, maybe application of YouTube or web browser, you are using that particular program tells operating system that operating system, can you please run me on the CPU? So OS does all these tasks. So ultimately operating system is the ultimate manager of computer system, managing the entire computer system, controlling entire computer system, and whatever user wants, whatever the program you want to run, everything operating system is managing. So how your processor CPU will work, when it will work, how RAM will work, when it will work, everything controlled by this operating system. So if you have a bigger picture So in the bigger picture, you know what happens. This is your computer hardware. In the hardware, you have all the hardwares, disk and CPU, RAM, main memory, everything. This hardware you cannot interact directly to. So you need a layer called as operating system. So operating system is a program actually. Okay, it is a software, it is not a hardware, it is a software which you install. You tell me on your computer system which operating system you are using. Unix, Linux, Windows, which one? If you have mobile phone, in mobile phone, which operating system you are using? Android or iOS of Apple? Which one you are using? You must know this. So this operating system is a software. It's a collection of lot of small programs. And that operating system sits above the hardware and makes your application programs, whatever apps you install, those plus you as a user to interact with your hardware. So user and applications you even sit above the application also. Then operating system is managing entire thing. So this is why this is called as interface. Are you understanding? Okay, one person saying Android. Okay, not bad. You must know this. So operating system provides the interface. Interface means a mediator. As a mediator it works so that user, the application programs which you are using, apps, WhatsApp you are using, web browser you are using, YouTube you are using, all the apps which can run on computer system, but directly they cannot. Operating system will help us to do that. But apart from the regular task, this particular task is for every user. Every user means the user who does not know what is operating system and does not know computer science engineering. A normal person, normal user also knows this. Yes, for normal person also operating system is doing this basic task. For us, for computer science engineer, what you are doing, OS? We are engineers, computer science engineers. We want some special support from you. OS says that don't worry guys, I do have something for you too. And what is that? So in operating system, some functionalities are there. Those functionalities you can utilize as a programmer, as a software engineer, so that you don't have to write the program or code of interaction of hardware. Let's say I want to have a new application, new program I want to write. In that program, my requirement is to have some hardware connection or hardware usage. I cannot write the program. Even if I write, that will be too hard for me to write the program which can interact with the hardware. Very difficult, re baba. Very difficult. What then? Why? What happens in that case? Two options. Either you write the program by yourself, yes, or you do one thing. You use some functionalities given by operating system. It is easy for us. So operating system gives some set of utilities which we call as API, application program interface. Yes. So APIs are given by operating system. We can use them while developing some programs and applications so that we don't have to write the actual code of interaction of hardware. That code already written in operating system itself. So look at this. Here we have set of utilities to simplify application development or execution. So some set of utilities in the form of APIs operating system is providing so that for us program development becomes easy. See, it's simply like making idlis. If you want to make idli, there are two ways. Either you make the idli better by yourself with some kind of urad dal and whatever ingredients are needed, you'll have to soak them, then in the grinder you need to grind them, and then you need to prepare that grind. by yourself, but it will take a lot of efforts, time. If you don't want that, then there are some ready-made idli batters are available in the market. You go purchase and make the idlis. Exactly same way, ready-made batter are available for the application development. Those are operating system set of utilities. Are you guys understanding this? If you have any question regarding your career preparation, etc., I can give you last 5 to 7 minutes at the end. So till then, you need to be here listening this video, just because without learning the content, you cannot cross any kind of hurdle, whether it is GATE exam or whether it is your interviews. So first, learning is important. Strategies, etc., I will talk about, but later on. So I can see some of the comments over here. Please be till the end. Okay? Fine. Okay. Next, what services operating system provides? Services means what kind of work OS can do for us, for as a user or computer system user. First, interface. How? See this. What? Look at this. Let me go out. Look at this. Okay, let me just go ahead. This interface where I can put, I can click on this and I can see my folders, all the folders, right? I can click on this and I can see all the application installed. How I can see all the applications which are installed? With the help of operating system only. So operating system is giving me this opportunity through touch or maybe through mouse or through keyboard. I can use my computer system. So user interface, this is the interface, graphical interface which operating system has provided us. And every operating system, whether it is mobile operating system or computer system operating system, every operating system provides us this. Oh, we have closed this. It's okay. I'll turn it on again. Don't worry. So every operating system actually provides us this. What? User interface. Next thing is program execution. Whatever the program you want to run on CPU, operating system only helps us running those programs on CPU. This is the most important functionality. Most important functionality of operating system to be able to execute our programs, whichever we are writing. This is one of the most popular interview question in the big tech companies. If you are saying my course is operating system, and in the interviews they are asking questions like Intel, like ARM, Cisco, so many such companies are asking operating system as your course. So if that is the case, this one question comes always in the interview, and they ask what is the main functionality of operating system which is most important. People say whatever they want to, but the main functionality is program execution. To be able to execute a program which we have written as a user, or which we want as a user, that execution should happen in the computer system, and that happens with the help of OS. IO operation. Every IO devices, input output devices like disk, keyboard, mouse, printer, every devices which you are connecting to the computer system, all the IO devices are operated after the permission of OS. Like I'll give you very simple example. I'll give you very simple example. Let's say this is the camera. There is a camera in front of me. अब camera में camera नहीं दिखा सकता मैं. I cannot show you the camera in this camera only, but there is a camera over here. This particular camera's feed means the video is going through a particular software in front of my computer system. The name of the software is OBS Studio. This OBS Studio, when I opened, it will take the permission of operating system. Operating system, can I use the camera? If camera is not being used anywhere, then OS will give the permission to this software OBS Studio. Okay, you use it. Similarly, this microphone connected, its receiver is connected to my computer system. Same happens with mic also. That mic receiver is getting accessed by this particular OBS Studio. So what it says, it is asking OS, can I use this mic? OS says, okay, you can use it. If it is not being used anywhere else, if nobody using, then OS gives the permission. When OS has given camera permission to this OBS Studio, now if I want to open another application, let's say Zoom, and through Zoom I want to open a particular video call, no, not possible. Why? I cannot open the camera into Zoom application. Why? Just because camera to getting used by OBS Studio, na? So when OBS Studio will be closed, when you will close this application, camera use will be free. After that, OS will give the permission of camera to this particular device or this particular program, Zoom. This is operating IO operation. Next, file system manipulation. And what is that? In your computer system hardware, you store a lot of files. Folders are there and files are there. I have just shown you sometimes before, right? Here. These, so many files are there, folder are there, a lot of folders are there. This operating system is providing you this facility that you can make more folders, you can make more files, you can store them, you can delete them, you can rename them, you can copy and paste, you can cut and paste. Whatever you want to do with the files and folders, OS is providing you the facility of this. If OS will not provide, even if I right click on this particular folder, nothing will happen. Why? Just because OS will not provide the functionality, you will not get that functionality. Now OS is not having any kind of functionality in this operating system that wirelessly I can transfer this particular folder directly to my this computer. There is no any such functionality just because these connections operating system is not making. So wirelessly, without any wire, I cannot send directly. Directly I cannot send data that send this particular folder to this particular OS or this particular computer system. Doesn't happen like that way. It doesn't happen. In iOS it happens. Mac OS especially. In the Macintosh, Mac OS, it can happen. Wirelessly, they can make the connection and you can transfer a file directly. Operating system provides the facility. And this is nothing but what it is. File system manipulation. Next, communication. If two different application programs want to communicate, they cannot communicate directly. They are having operating system in between. You can imagine that situation when husband and wife are having a particular big quarrel, a big discussion happened and they are not talking to each other. Now they want to discuss something but they are not talking to each other directly. What happens? They have a small young kid at home, so everybody is telling the kid to do this. So husband is saying to kid, tell your mom, I will eat roti and sabzi in the evening. Sabzi should be of spinach only. Palak ka sabzi. The kid will go here, will tell to the mom. Dad is saying he will eat roti and sabzi, chapati and sabzi, curry, and then curry of spinach. Mom will tell him, tell your dad, I am not preparing anything for him. If he wants, go out and eat. So kid will tell this particular information to dad. And now dad, the husband, is saying again to kid, and kid is transferring that particular information to the wife. Same. This information they cannot pass on to each other. No. They cannot have communicate directly. No. Why? In the computer system, two programs cannot interact directly. They need that intermediate thing, controlling thing, which is operating system. Two processes communication can happen only through OS. Directly they cannot. So if one process wants, process means a program. a particular application wants to connect or communicate with other process, what happens that one process will ask operating system, hey OS, I want to talk to this particular process, can you please make it happen? OS will do this particular task. Process to process directly communication does not happen. Next, error detection. If any error comes, that particular error detected by operating system, like internet connected is not there. If you are transferring a file from your pen drive to somewhere, and while copying the file, you remove the pen drive. So source of the file is not available. That particular error message will come. So what such kind of error comes. Resource allocation. As I told you, a particular resource is nothing but camera and so many other hardwares. Which particular hardware will be used by which application in the computer system, OS will decide. Accounting information, which I can show up here. Look at this. Whenever you are using a computer system, go to the task manager. See what all applications are running, how much CPU they are using, how much memory they are using, how much disk, how much network. Similarly, background processes are there so many. How much memory, how much disk, how much network, how much CPU they are using. Everything OS is maintaining. And this particular everything is nothing but accounting information. What all these? These are accounting informations which operating system is doing. Then protection and security. System to be protected and system to be secured. Whatever data is there on your computer system, nobody should read it without the password. If you have password set for computer system, without password, the data should not be accessible. For protection, there are so many other things which we will learn eventually during the course. There is a protection of devices, how it happens. There is a protection of process execution or instruction execution, we will learn. There is protection of memory. That also, when the topic comes, I will talk about protection of each and every individual thing slowly. Okay. Sir, this class is going to be in paid batch, beta. It is only for YouTube, not in paid batch. Currently only for YouTube. Then there are so many types of operating system. For us, 1, 2, 3 and 4. These 4 are important. So we will discuss these 4 only. Remaining not at all needed for us. This is just the information, nothing else. So we are not going to discuss these particular things. Okay. Next, let's talk about different types of operating system. Before I explain you the type of operating system, I will have to explain you guys one thing, and that is what exactly computer system is working as. See, you all know what is a RAM. Everybody knows what is RAM. This is RAM. In computer system, we call it as main memory or primary memory. And then we have a computer system CPU. CPU is processor, which does the processing task. Every process execution, application execution, every processing work happens inside the CPU, central processing unit. If let's say you are watching my lecture, YouTube, through YouTube or web browser, you know what happens? What happens? This YouTube or web browser is running inside CPU, yes, but its program and data are stored here in the RAM. So if you write a program and you want to run it, that program will be stored here in the RAM completely. It will have a lot of small instructions. These instructions will go inside CPU one by one at a time, and then they will execute inside CPU. To run the program, we may need some data, operand, etc. Those are also stored only in the RAM memory, main memory. So in the RAM, what happens? In the RAM, you have your programs which you want to run, and to run the program, data whichever needed. Integer values, character values, everything. So this is the basic idea. In the RAM, programs and data are stored and CPU is taking them one by one and executing them. But apart from that, you must have operating system program also in the RAM only. Why? Why? Just because operating system is a program only, it's a software only, and that software also runs in the CPU meanwhile. In between the different programs you are running, in between for short duration, operating system runs in CPU only and controls everything. And that's how operating system, and that's why operating system should be there in the RAM only. Did you get this point? So whenever you have the RAM or main memory, in the RAM you should have operating system and other programs which you want to run. Operating system should be there in the RAM, other programs you are having, those are also there in the RAM. CPU executes OS for some time, then programs for some time, then in between CPU keeps executing OS, operating system. So OS executes in CPU and then control everything in the computer system. Other programs are there in the RAM only apart from OS space. Now, uniprogramming operating system. This is a very old technique or very old operating system design, and that operating system was having a particular limitation. Limitation? What kind of limitation, sir? The limitation was this operating system was allowing, apart from itself, only one program at a time in RAM. Uni means one, programming means program. At a time, only one program can be there in the RAM apart from OS. So this type of operating systems, this OS allows only one program in RAM main memory. Oh, why it is limitation? Okay, we will learn that slowly, but let me explain you what exactly happening here. So this is your main memory RAM. In the RAM, you must be having operating system. Yes, apart from operating system, there is only one program. There is only one program. What happens? This particular programs goes and runs in CPU. Operating system makes it run. But let's suppose this particular program wants to use some IO device like camera or something. So what happens if any particular program which is there in the system, it is executing in CPU and it wants to use the IO device? So it will leave the CPU and it will go for IO device usage. When it will go for IO device usage, then which program will execute in CPU? We do not have any other program. If there is no any other program, then CPU will not be used at that time. So CPU's utilization is not happening. Very simple. Let's assume you have purchased a very superb new technology TV of 75-inch. A big TV, superb technology, 4 lakh rupees you have spent only for having a really big TV in your house. Now, you are watching the TV, yes, in the morning, in the evening, but in the daytime too, you are going office. You are going office. So during that time, TV is not utilized. You have spent 4 lakh rupees, but you are not utilizing it, boss. Problem. Problem, yes, problem. Then, to utilize the device, when you are not using it, you should have somebody else to use it. You do one thing, you call your parents also to live with you. If they are living in village or somewhere else, you call them, or your sisters, your brothers, maybe your relatives. Call more members so that when you are going office not using the TV, they can use it. Better utilization of the television. Same happening over here. So one program, when they are in the system, it can utilize CPU, yes, but not very good. Why? Just because when that program is going for IO work or IO operation, CPU will be free. So I'm writing that point over here for your notes. When the single program goes for IO, input output operation. IO means input output device operation like disk use or camera use, then CPU will be free. What does it mean? Not a proper utilization of CPU, and CPU is our main unit. Processor is important. So what happens? You bring one program in the main memory, execute it completely, and then you remove it and bring another program. So what happens? At a time you are bringing only one program in the main memory. If that program is executing and using the CPU, fine. When it goes for IO operation, then there is no any other program in the main memory which can occupy CPU, which can use the CPU. That's why proper utilization of CPU not happening. Now what happens? To solve this particular problem, scientists have made another type of operating system, multi-programming operating system. Now imagine with you, your parents are also living in the same house. When you are going office, your mother can watch the television. Yes, when your mother is busy with some household work or something, like she is going for a walk or yoga or something, then your dad can watch the television. If more number of members are there in the house, they can utilize television more. Same, more members means more program in computer system, and that's how multi-programming operating system came into the picture, and it has increased utilization of CPU. So what is multi-programming OS in the definition? This operating system allows more than one program to be in main memory. Super. More than one program, multiple programs are there in the main memory. Yes. Now what happens? Look at this. Apart from operating system, program 1 is there, program 2 is there, program 3 is there. So many programs are there in the RAM main memory. So let's suppose one first program P1 is running in CPU. Perfect. If P1 leaves the CPU to use the IO device, then P2 can utilize the CPU. Why? Just because we have P2 also in main memory. P2 can run on CPU. Yes. So P1 is using the IO device, P2 is using the CPU. My CPU utilization increase. CPU will not have to sit free. When P1 is using IO device, previously I was not having P2 program. So one program, if leaving the CPU, going for IO, then done. My CPU is sitting free. Problem. Why CPU is sitting free? I want to use it, na? So in multi-programming operating system, CPU utilization increased. CPU utilization increases. How? If program 1 is leaving the CPU going for IO, then P2 program will run in CPU. If P2 program also leaves the CPU and using other IO, then P3 program will utilize the CPU. So more number of programs, more utilization of CPU. Multi-programming OS. So can I write this? When a program goes for IO, then other program can run on or execute on CPU. Which means from before, better CPU utilization. Are you guys getting this point? Are you guys getting this point or not? Okay, next, there is a term called as degree of multiprogramming. Degree of multiprogramming. And what is that? How many number of processes are there in main memory? Number of processes are there in main memory at a time, called as degree of multiprogramming. Number of processes or programs, I should write right now, programs in main memory at a time. Currently, in the diagram, can I say, as per this diagram, 3 programs are there in main memory, which means degree of multiprogramming is 3. Degree of multiprogramming is how much? 3. Yeah. Understood? How many programs? 3 programs, degree of programming 3. 4 programs, degree of programming 4. Now, if I ask you, degree of multiprogramming is how much in uniprogramming OS? 1. 1 program at a time, maximum. Degree of multiprogramming will be 1 here. So we have seen that we will increase the programs in main memory. CPU utilization will be better, even more better. It will keep increasing. Why? Just because we will have more number of processes to occupy CPU. If so many programs, I should say programs, so many programs are going for IO operations, then too we will have more programs to use the CPU. So there is a particular statement over here, that is, when degree of multiprogramming increases, then what happens? CPU utilization also increases, boss. Then CPU utilization also increases. But this increment has a limit. Everything has a limit, na? So this also has a limit. Till certain level only the CPU utilization will increase, not beyond that. But up to a certain level. So degree of multiprogramming increases, CPU utilization also increases, just because more programs are there in RAM to occupy your CPU. But up to certain level, CPU utilization can increase. After that, it will not. That you will learn in the topic called as memory management. When virtual memory you will have a in discussion, then at that time you will understand why, even if we increase the degree of multiprogramming, why CPU utilization does not increase beyond that level. We will understand that for sure. You will understand it and you will love that concept also, but it is having time right now. Fine. Next thing is types of multiprogramming. Types of multi-programming operating system. Okay, one simple question. If you live alone in a flat in a city, let's say New York City, just for your job, you shifted over there, you are living alone for now, and if you have a television in your apartment, can somebody forcefully make you go away from the television just because that fellow wants to watch the television? No. Why? Hey, there is no any other person. If there is no any other person, how can that person, imaginary person, can come and can tell me that you leave the television, I will watch? Nothing. You are sole owner of the entire house, entire flat, and entire television. Whenever you want to, you will watch the television. Whenever you want to, you will put it off and you will sleep or you will go out. It's your choice. It is purely your choice when you will want to leave the television. Yes, but if you live in the house where there is one television and three members, you and your both parents, then is it possible that your parents can tell you forcefully? Parents can tell you forcefully what? What? That you leave television, you cannot watch the television, you just go and study. Possible? Yes, possible. But to your dad, in your house, who is more powerful, dad or mother? Who, if wants to watch television, then that fellow will have the control. Mostly fathers. In my house, also it is same. For television, especially my father, when he wants to watch television, he will watch whatever he wants to. And nobody else can tell him, we want to use the television. No. Me, no. My mother, no. Sisters, no. Nobody. Nobody. So if my father is watching the television, nobody can move him out of the television forcefully. Happens, na? So in types of multi-programming, even we have multiple people in the house, we cannot make our dad remove from the television watching and we can watch our program. If he is watching the news on the television, he will watch the news until he wants. We cannot move out him out of the television, and we cannot change the television channel. So these are the two different types of multi-programming. One is non-preemptive multi-programming operating system and other one is preemptive multi-programming operating system. Non-preemptive multi-programming OS says that in this operating system, if CPU says, OS says, let's say P2 will go and run on CPU. If operating system says that P2 program will go on CPU, then P2 program will leave the CPU by its own choice, by its own wish. Nobody, even operating system also cannot forcefully take program P2 out of the CPU. If that kind of operating system is there, that is called as non-preemptive OS. If a program is running on CPU, that program cannot be taken out of the CPU forcefully. Program will leave the CPU by its own choice. So, a running program will leave CPU by its own choice and can not be forcefully, remember, cannot be taken out forcefully. This is non-preemptive operating system and it works for every process. Every program which you have, if it is going for CPU execution, then that program will leave the CPU by its own choice. When program wants, program will leave the CPU, otherwise not. Preemptive operating system is different. Here, if any program is running on CPU, then forcefully, because of some reason, maybe operating system or something else, somebody can take that process out, program out of the CPU forcefully. Possible? Yes, possible. A running program can be taken out of the CPU. Yes, taken out of the CPU forcefully. Yes, forcefully, even against its wish. Whose wish? Its program's own wish. The program does not want to leave the CPU, but some other program will come, something else will come and will leave it, will make it out. Right? Program, come out. I will run. Some other program will run. Forcefully? Yes, forcefully. preemptive type of operating system. So a program can be forcefully taken out of the CPU. Forcefully taken out of the CPU, this particular thing can be taken out of the CPU forcefully. This particular thing is called as preemption of process, preemption of program or process. Preemption means taken out the process or program forcefully of the CPU. That is called as preemption of process. Next is multitasking OS. Multitasking OS is nothing but a special variant. Variant of what? Multi-programming only. It is a multi-programming only, but it has a very special characteristic. And what is characteristic? The way programs are running on CPU. Very special, pattern are there to run the program on CPU. That is called as round robin pattern. So multitasking operating system it's an extension of multi-programming OS. So it is multi-programming OS only. It's another variant, but in which each program, I should say programs, run in round robin manner. See, in the multi-programming operating system, there is no any restriction that how programs should run in CPU. OS is having free hand. OS run the programs as you want. You run P1 program for entire day, and then P2 program for 2 hours, then P3 programs for some 1 hour, then again P1 program for 5 hours, then P2 program for just 5 minutes. P processes will run on CPU freehand. Anyhow processes can run. There is no any restriction. There is no any pattern. But here in multitasking OS, programs are running on CPU, yes, but there is a pattern. Pattern of what? Pattern of your childhood games you are sharing with your friends. Let's say you are playing cricket in a small area, maybe on the rooftop or a small room, or maybe your veranda somewhere. You are playing cricket with your 4 friends. Total 4 people are there. Each player will get 2 overs of batting. 2 overs of batting. Every player 1, 2, 3, 4, then again 1, 2, 3, 4, then again 1, 2, 3, 4. You just keep playing 2 overs. This is what? Round robin manner. That each process, each program will run on CPU for a specific time duration. Let's say that time duration is 2 nanosecond. So each process program will come on CPU and that program will run for 2 nanosecond. Then P2 program will come and will run for 2 nanosecond. Then P3, then P4. Then again P1, P2, P3, P4. This is round robin. Execution of each program has a very specific pattern. Pattern is each program will run on CPU for a Q duration of time. So if you have the timeline diagram, first program will run Q duration of time, then P2 will be coming. P1 preempted forcefully, P2 runs Q duration time, then P3 runs Q duration time, then P4 runs exactly Q duration time, then P1 runs Q duration time, then P2 runs Q duration time, and so on. It keeps going. All the processes will run in this round robin manner. Next is multi-processing operating system. So multitasking OS was having a very speciality, and that was each particular program must run in a specific manner. That is a round robin manner. Next is multi-processing operating system. What is multi-processing operating system? Multi-processing operating system will be designed or are designed for such kind of a computer system where multiple CPUs are there. See, in our computer system, we have only single CPU, single processor system we all are using. But if we have a computer system which has multiple CPUs, then to run the programs on different CPUs, managing those executions will be very different. Hence, for that, a different operating system should be designed called as multi-processing OS. This operating system is not there in our syllabus. So whatever computer system we use and whatever syllabus questions we are having, all are having single CPU operating systems and single CPU computer systems. But this is a special OS. This operating system works on computers with multiple CPUs. Just because such kind of operating system should be different than the normal computer system. Okay. Next part of operating system. When OS is designed, means all the software, entire software when built, that entire software is built in two parts. Two part means lot of programs of operating system are built first. Those are the program of providing the main functionalities of OS. And those programs of main functionalities of OS are kept as a particular part called as kernel. Core part of computer systems OS, core part of operating system. In kernel part, we keep all the functionalities of operating system. Let's say Microsoft is a company. Microsoft has developed an operating system called as Windows. What happens? What all functionalities and features operating system provides? Microsoft's Windows. All the features of operating system, their programs kept in a kernel. Above that kernel, another part comes that is called as shell. This particular shell part is developed only to interact with the kernel. It is the user interface kind of layer. So first of all, lot of programs got developed to make the operating system as operating system. All those programs kept in a small, or not a small, big part kernel. How user will use this OS to make that interface? Other programs have been written and those are kept into shell. User interface. User interface, how you can use the operating system? First one is graphical user interface. What is graphical user interface? Through touch, double click, right click, you are able to use the computer system OS, right? That is graphical user interface. Apart from that, there is a command line interface also. What is that? You have a terminal over which you write a command, you enter, and based on that command, your operating system will do the task which you are asking. So there are two ways to use operating system, either by click and all, you do that, or by writing the commands. If you have ever used Microsoft's terminal to use the operating system or to do anything, then that terminal is nothing but command line interface which operating system is providing you as a shell. You write the command, use the computer system. Possible? Yes, possible. Next is system call. What is system call? To tell operating system that we want something from it, there is a procedure. Procedure is called as system call. So anything you as a user or anything your program which you are running in the computer system wants to do in the system, then that program will tell OS, hey OS, please do this for me. So how this program, or how you are telling operating system that do this for me? By a system call. So system call is nothing but a particular way to call the or to use the OS functionalities. It's a way for programs to interact with the operating system. So anything which your program wants that operating system should does or should do, or you as a user, if anything wants, you as a user, if you want to do something and you are asking to operating system, hey OS, please do this for me, then how you will do that? By making a system call. By making a system call. Now in the computer system, there are two modes. What those two modes? When operating system is running in the CPU, then it is called as kernel mode or system mode, supervised mode, privileged mode. When not OS, some other program is running on the CPU or system, then it is called as user mode. Why two different modes? The simple reason is when operating system is running, OS has more control of computer system and more privilege. Yes, OS can do certain tasks which normal program is not allowed to do. Like in your house, you cannot open the drawer or that particular, almirah where the money is kept. You cannot. You have seen that from childhood. If you want money, only your mother or father, whomever is having the control, that fellow will hold the key. That fellow only will go and open the lock, will take out the money. You are not allowed to even touch that particular key and drawer. You can't. Yes. So opening that drawer is a privilege operation. Who can do that? Only your parents. You know, you are a user process, your parent operating system. So there are so many such kind of privileged operation, so many such kind of very highly sensitive operations which only operating system can do. Simple. So how my computer system will understand that currently operating system is executing in CPU and currently user process is running in the CPU? By this mode bit. So in the CPU there is a mode bit. If mode bit is 1, what happens? My computer system will understand user mode, user process is running. If user process wants to use any kind of privilege operation, CPU will say, no kid, no, you cannot do this, not allowed. You are user process, you are in the user mode, you cannot use this functionality, it is privileged one, you cannot do that. So user mode, if process is running, program is running in user mode, program can do normal task but cannot do the privileged operation. So privileged operations can be done when operating system is running in the kernel mode. But to user to want na, I to want money to pay to my college. I want money. Yes, I cannot access it from the almirah, but I want money to pay my fees in college. Then you will have to ask, Papa, college people are asking for the fee. Please give me money so that I can submit that money into the college. So you will have to ask your father to do that privileged operation for you. So whenever a user program wants some kind of privileged operation, then user process will ask operating system, hey OS, please do this particular work for me now, please. OS will do it by running in the kernel mode. So look at this. This is what I have explained. User process executing. During execution, user process wants that I need some kind of privileged operation, but I cannot do by myself. So user process will do a system call, asking money to your dad. System call. As soon as system call happens, operating system comes. Operating system changes the mode from 1 to 0. Mode bit changed from 1 to 0. Yes. When it has changed, after that, you know what happens. The operating system will execute in the kernel mode and operating system will perform that privileged operation for your program. Once done, mode bit changed again and return from the system call. Means your father will take money and will give it to you and will tell you this is the amount of money, give me the receipt tomorrow. So whenever the privileged operation is done by operating system will return the result of system call, that, hey, user process, you wanted me to do this, na? I did it. Take this result, enjoy. Okay. User process will be happy just because whatever user process wanted, operating system has done its work. Now here we are providing protection to the system. We are providing protection in the system. How? Protection of what? Protection of important operations. Those important privileged operation user process cannot do. I am protecting my computer system. Operating system OS is protecting the computer system, that user process should not be allowed to do some kind of illegal work or not allowed work by just implementing this dual mode of operation, user mode and kernel mode. ओके इसमें बेसिक से होगा या क्रैश कोर्स होगा बेटा, बेसिक से एडवांस सब कुछ होगा अगर आप लोग सपोर्ट करेंगे तो. If you guys will come over here and will keep watching these lecture series, I will cover up from basic to advanced what is needed, not the like a crash course. Okay, got it? Sir, demo session or crash course, it is a continuous lecture series, but it will only last till you guys are coming. If people will not be coming over here, then there will not be any use of conducting these classes. So if you guys want me to take these classes regularly, please come regularly. Ask your friends also to join so that we can have some good numbers. We can have good discussion in the class and we can have a better discussion and learning out of that. I got 791 in GATE 2026. Have seen most of your playlist. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope and I wish you have more and more success in your life ahead. Sir, when should I start GATE preparation? I have taken admission in BTech this year. It's your choice. You can start from first year also slowly. At least you can work on your coding, mathematics and aptitude in first year at least. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining this session. We will meet again tomorrow and we will start the first chapter of the different modules of operating system, which is called as process management. So we will talk about process management from tomorrow onwards. Thank you. See you at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Have a great day. Happy learning. Bye-bye.